Welcome back to Road to Fire. We're a family of three documenting our journey to fire, financial independence, retire early. Let's chat about our September mid-month budget check-in. I will share all our real numbers through the 14th of the month and provide full transparency like always, so please hang with me. We had a few unexpected expenses this month, so we'll probably end up being overspent in our budget. I usually leave a buffer and overestimate every number, but this month there were a few more outliers than planned. We use the zero-based budget method when budgeting, which essentially means your income equals your expenses plus your savings. All of your income is accounted for in your budget. It's a great way to not only track your expenses, but your savings and investment planning as well. I used to record and track every expense every single day. It was like I had a camera crew following me around, making sure I was tracking every single detail. I'm type A, but I took budgeting way too far. This was negatively impacting my relationship, and I really just needed to chill. So I've learned to love budgeting and see it as a roadmap, which is why I manage the budget in our home. I review our budget bi-weekly or on paydays, and then my husband and I have a closeout meeting at the end of the month just to go over our overspent categories. All of our accounts are joint, except we each have one personal checkings account for gifts or presents, but we rarely use it. We have everything linked on Mint, so that's where I track our expenses, but then I transfer it into Excel as Mint doesn't categorize it the way I like it, and sometimes they have syncing issues. We then charge everything on our joint Capital One account, making it easy to track. We love the zero-based budgeting method because every single dollar is accounted for. We don't have to guess or assume where our money is, just have to flip through our few Excel sheets and there it is. It's easy to track our goals and make sure we're on track for our overall FI plan. The one thing I'm learning about the financial journey is that it just takes time, and we are running the long race. It took us a while to get to a budget that worked well for us, but we stayed the course, and now it's almost a breeze each and every month. It just got easier and easier over time. So let's review our September income actuals to date. We are lucky to get additional income which helped to offset some of our unplanned expenses. Keep in mind most of our expenses hit on the second half of the month, so our actuals don't reflect a halfway point of our budget. So here's our September income report. This is a standard view for us. This month, most of our income will come from our W-2s. This is not ideal as we need more streams of income, but because we live on one income, we have somewhat decreased this risk. Check out our savings strategy video for more details, and I'll link that here. Okay, here are our details. Our income is slightly lower than last month due to my husband increasing his 401k contributions by 1%. It's only a slight decline, making our total W-2 income expected to be around $11,300. So here's our actuals to date. We've had $5,573 come in. I see that I overestimated our income by like $50 to $60, but I will adjust that for the next month. I honestly swagged this number as I was not sure about how his 401k contributions will impact his take-home pay. We don't expect any bonuses this month, and I know my bonus is coming November 6th and my husband is coming around Christmas, so that actual came in as zero. We don't have any passive income for this month. We do have cash back and interest and survey income that comes in, but I don't add that in because it's just very unpredictable. I've already got survey money, but until my passive income is stable, I won't put that into our income report. Okay, this is where things get a little good. For our other section, we expected to have about $700 refund from our flight that we had planned for later this year. Unfortunately, we weren't able to take the trip, but Wells Fargo has cleared this claim and we got in more than expected. We got in $1,142. That's nearly $450 more than we planned. Nearly all of this refund went to our car payoff. Overall income, or the actual income as of right now, is $6,715 that has come in month to date. Here is the variance. As you see, we are really much on track for most of our expected income as of right now, with a little bit of an underage on our total W-2 income based on my husband's 401k contributions. Now let's look over our expected expenses. Honestly, I tightened our budget a lot this month, so was really nervous on how we were going to fare off. Also, don't see this as our halfway point again. A lot of our transactions haven't cleared, so we still have about 2/3 of the month to go when you look at our numbers versus 50% of the way. So here's our September expense report. I always outline our top expenses. Note savings is included in the expense report in the zero-based budget method. These top categories would determine how fast or how slow it would take us to reach fire. And they represent over 80% of our total expenses. Our next goal is to tackle rent, as we just hit a huge milestone on our car payments. So here are our budget expenses for the month. I like to arrange by dollar value to understand what areas I should focus on the most. Our total expenses are just under $12,000, leaving us a small buffer. I really wanted to tighten our budget this month, and I took a risk on it. Luckily, we had some overage with the flight refunds. So let's get into the details. So for savings, we budgeted $5,260, and we're right on track for this, as this is automatically set up, so everything's good to go. For rent is $1,800, and right now we've paid nothing, as we pay our rent at the end of the month. So rent is our next expense we are really trying to decrease pending a move. For our car payments, we've sent in $1,300, and this is for both cars. Keep in mind, most of our additional payments are coming from our savings accounts that are not seen in our monthly budget or are drawn from our sinking funds. We will send over the additional $300 as planned. For childcare, which is our second largest expense we want to work on in the near future, we have not paid anything to his childcare as that comes on the 25th of the month, but we have paid for his swim lessons, which is about $94. Unfortunately, his swim lessons will increase next month due to COVID, but I feel like learning how to swim is kind of a life lesson, so there's no fee too high for my son to learn this. Our son goes to school for 2 days a week, which is needed for us to try to get a little bit of a break as we're still working from home. We are Christians and we pay a 10% tithe to our church and charities, but as you can see here, we have $500 budgeted, which doesn't equate 10% of our income. We always top off our balance at the end of the year with our annual bonuses and our company profit sharing, so as of right now, we paid half of the $500, so $250 as expected. Our groceries is usually fixed for the most part. We allocate about $100 per person. Honestly, we have not bought a lot of food yet, but have spent only $54 so far. There are a couple of transactions that are pending, about $30 run I did last week, but my sister is coming in town and we'll do a grocery run for her and her family. Also note, I do intermittent fasting, so a lot of these days I only eat from 11 to 7 or 11 to 6, so that might explain why our groceries are a lot lower than an average family. Now our restaurant is about $70 right now and we budgeted $200. This number is higher than we wanted as we still will be having our family coming in this weekend and we know we're going to be taking them out to eat or getting takeout. So I'm sure this one will be close to $250 or $300 by the end of September. For car insurance, we use Progressive and this is rates for both of our cars and the bill came in at $173. I think it was off about a couple of bucks. And then we budgeted about $170 for car maintenance for our wheel tax and this came out as expected. But unfortunately this morning our car got a flat tire, there was a nail found in it, so I'm expected to have to buy a new tire and we're thinking that might be around $200 that was not budgeted. So we'll definitely be over for car maintenance, but that's life and it happens. Our phone is fixed with Sprint and that's $167. We have an unlimited plan and we have not paid that yet as that hits at the end of the month. So our next expenses are really tiny in our budget. For utilities, we have a plan $155. So far, we paid $52 and that come out for our internet with Xfinity, so that's fixed and that's what we get every single month. And for our business expenses, it came in higher at $101 because I honestly forgot to renew my subscriptions with Wix. So this will probably be overspent this month as well. Gas for both of my cars is expected to be about $130. My husband goes into work 2 days a week and he's done pretty well with the gas overall, and so we spent only $41 right now. Household expenses are budgeted at $100 and I have not been to Target this month, so that's why it's been really low. So the minute I get into Target, this will probably blow up a bit, but I hope to stay on budget. We've only spent $29 at Amazon and that's pretty good because we used to spend hundreds of dollars at Amazon. Honestly, the tip for us was cutting out Prime, which helped us save a lot of money. For apparel, we haven't gotten my son anything yet, but we plan to by the end of the month as he continues to outgrow all of his clothes all the time. So our entertainment, which includes my Apple cloud storage as well as Netflix, is going to be way over. My son busted our iPad and so we had to replace the screen and that cost us about $95, so we're obviously going to be over this as well. But fixing it was a must because we needed to have him some free time or some screen time for him so we can kind of get some things done while he's in the house. So total expected expenses came out to be $5,237 to date, and I'm expecting us to be over in 4 categories right now, but because we got additional income, this might be slightly offset. I'm expecting us to be over about $400. So when I'm over, I traditionally pull that from some of our savings to kind of balance things out. We'll be over in groceries, car maintenance, business, and entertainment for this month. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Thanks so much. Until next time.